Hi friends, Miss Kristi here, and I am so excited to be together again cooking in the kitchen. Today we are learning how to make a bean and cheese burrito. This quick snack or small meal for ourselves uses just 4 ingredients and it cooks in our microwave for just 1 minute. We're gonna have fun making this together today, and I'm so glad you're here.
All is calm and all is bright.
Now, the first step to cooking and working in the kitchen is to wash our hands. While I wash my hands with soap and warm water for at least 20 seconds, let's go over the ingredients and supplies that you'll need to gather to cook along today. The ingredients you'll need are 1 flour tortilla, 1 slice of cheese, 3 tablespoons of refried beans, and 1 tablespoon of cream cheese. The supplies you'll need are a microwave-safe plate, 1 tablespoon, and a butter knife. Okay, great. Your hands are clean and my hands are clean. We've gathered our ingredients and supplies, so let's get started making our bean and cheese burrito. This is just a very quick snack that we can make for ourselves, maybe have it as a small meal, and it only cooks for 1 minute in our microwave. So the first thing you're going to want to do is grab your microwave-safe plate and put that right in front of you. We're gonna assemble everything on this plate. This is what goes in our microwave. So put your plate in front of you, and then also grab your 1 tablespoon, it says 1 TBSP, have that next to you. Grab your butter knife, we're gonna use this to spread some things, so put that down next to you as well, and then grab your flour tortilla. All right, so I'm using a flour tortilla. Now, if you can't have a flour tortilla, maybe you have a corn tortilla, you can use that as well. It's just not gonna roll up like a burrito. Corn tortillas are a bit harder to roll up, but you could use that if you needed to, and then you could just eat it like a taco. But I'm going to use 1 flour tortilla, and I'm gonna put that right on my plate. Grab your cream cheese, and now we just need to spread out 1 tablespoon of cream cheese onto our tortilla. I'm gonna grab my 1 tablespoon, again, it's the one that says 1 TBSP. Measure out about a tablespoon of cream cheese. It can be a little bit more, it can be a little bit less. It doesn't have to be perfect today. I have my 1 tablespoon of cream cheese. You can put any extra you have aside. I'm just going to grab my butter knife now to scoop this out. And keep your tablespoon by you because we will use that for our refried beans. But now I'm just going to grab my butter knife, like I said, and just spread this out the best that you can onto your tortilla. So I'm trying to get it to the edges because that's what helps seal our burrito once we've cooked it in the microwave when we roll it up. So the best you can, spread out your cream cheese to the ends. Now, if your flour tortilla happens to be bigger than mine, then you could always use a little bit more cream cheese. Just make sure you have enough to fill the whole tortilla, but if you don't have a tortilla that's bigger, we know that a tablespoon is about the right amount. You can always add more or less too when you cook for yourself in the kitchen and you learn and become more comfortable with these quick small snacks and meals, then you can change them up to how you like. All right, so all I've done now, like I said, is spread this over my whole tortilla, quick and easy, and now we're just gonna add our refried beans. So keep your butter knife next to you. We'll use that in a minute with our slice of cheese, but grab your refried beans, and again, we're gonna use this 1 tablespoon, and we need 3 tablespoons of refried beans. Now, yours might be in a can. I've already opened my can. I had just used a little bit of it, and I put the extra in a container with a lid, and I had it in my refrigerator. So, if you open up a can of refried beans, don't throw the rest away. Put it in a container that has a lid. Put it back in your refrigerator and it'll stay good for a few days, and you can make this a couple times or use your beans for a different recipe, which is what I've done. So I'm going to now take my refried beans and I'm just going to measure out 3 tablespoons. You can grab your butter knife too if it doesn't come off very easily. And I'm just going to put them right down the middle. So 1, 2, 3 in a line. There's 1 tablespoon. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, with this recipe, it's just a general idea of how much we want to use. There's 2 tablespoons, and I'm gonna do 1 more at the bottom, which is 3 tablespoons. All right, I'm not going to spread this out because when we roll up our burrito. Everything's gonna be in the middle anyway, so I'm just going to kind of push it around in the middle a little bit, but I'm gonna keep basically all of it in the middle. I'm not spreading it out like we did with our cream cheese, just 3 tablespoons of refried beans right down the middle. Now you can put your tablespoon aside, we are done with that. If you have any leftover refried beans, like I said, put them in a container with a lid, pop them back in your refrigerator. Now go ahead and grab your slice of cheese. So you can use any cheese that you like, whichever flavor is the best for you. You could also use a string cheese, you could use shredded cheese. I just like using a slice of cheese because I know how much I need, and 1 slice of cheese is enough. All I'm going to do is, you can either take your butter knife or you can just break it in half. I just want to cut this in half. Okay, so I have now 2 slices. I'm gonna put 1 towards the top of my burrito and 1 towards the bottom, but right on top of those refried beans. You can put your butter knife to the side now. We are done with that. And from here, we are just going to put this in the microwave for 1 minute. Now, I'm not gonna roll it yet. I want it to cook like this. Our cheese is gonna start to melt. So once yours looks like this, put it in your microwave for 1 minute, and then we'll talk about getting it out safely and rolling it up into a burrito. All right, friends, this is exciting. That was just a minute in our microwave, and now we're just going to take it out and put it back on our work surface and let it cool for a minute. We touch that tortilla right away to roll it. It's gonna be a little bit too hot for our fingers. So I'm just gonna carefully take the plate. It's not super hot, it only cooked for a minute, so your plate should be cool enough to touch. So take out your plate from the microwave, put it right back in front of you, and let it cool for 1 minute. All right, friends, so this is cooled for about a minute, and now we're just gonna roll it up into a burrito. Now, if you don't want to have it in a burrito shape, you could definitely just fold it in half and eat it, and it would be perfectly delicious. But if you wanna roll it up into a burrito to kind of hold those ingredients in there, what you're gonna do is, because it's cool to touch now, so the tortilla's not super hot, take the bottom and just fold it in just a little bit. Not completely halfway, but just a little bit towards the bottom, so it creates this little kind of shelf to hold everything in. So I've done one side. Now all I'm going to do is take my other side and try to get it over your ingredients if you can. And then the other side goes right on top. And then we have this perfect little burrito. You can see the cheese melted. Those refried beans are warm. Now the reason we only had to cook it for a minute is because refried beans are usually pre-cooked when you buy them in a can. So all we really had to do is heat them up. Our cream cheese melted, our cheese slice melted, and now we have this great small meal or snack that we learned to make for ourselves. And again, it only took a minute in the microwave. How exciting. So, I do hope you try and make it or try and make it again. And when you do, let me know how it goes. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any questions. You can even send me a picture of how your bean and cheese burrito turned out. Maybe you added a couple more ingredients. I'd love to get to see your creation, and maybe we can share it next week. Now, speaking of next week, on next week's episode, which is episode 97, we're learning how to make 2-minute vanilla confetti cake. This perfect size treat for ourselves uses just 7 ingredients, plus 1 that's optional, and it only cooks in our microwave for 2 minutes. In order to cook along and make our 2-minute vanilla confetti cake, these are the ingredients that you'll need to have in your kitchen for next week. 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of milk, 1½ tablespoons of sugar, 1½ tablespoons of vegetable or cooking oil, 1 tablespoon of sprinkles, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a scoop of vanilla ice cream, which is optional. Well, friends, our time together today is almost over. This was such a quick snack. I do hope you enjoyed learning how to make our bean and cheese burrito. I know I had fun, and I already can't wait to cook together again next time. But before you say goodbye to this episode, make sure to click subscribe if you haven't already. You just have to click the little picture of me in the corner. That way you don't miss next week's episode. It'll be out on Friday, and I'll see you then. Bye, friends. It's time to eat our burrito.